Hi Sagittarius, I hope you guys are doing great. Welcome to your general messages for the 20th to the 30th. I'm not going to focus on relationship this reading. I did do extended relationship reads. I just posted a few days ago. There are long videos addressing singles, partnered, and those of you in separation. So this is going to be other additional energy. So you might resonate with it for a relationship, but it might have to do with work, a family situation, anything like that. So I'm just going to try to be going general. So we're going to get a lay of the land first, then we'll go into a Celtic cross spread. Hope you guys are doing great today. Getting ready for the sun to enter Cancer. That's happening on the 20th to the 21st, depending on where you live. So you guys are going to be feeling this energy in your 8th house. And I feel like a lot's going to be going on your money axis right now, because we're going to have the new moon in Cancer, which is a lot of focus on in the 8th house for you, having to do with safety and security regarding your relationships, regarding any sort of business situations that you have going on, regarding anything having to do with inheritance, insurance payout, anything to do with debt, anything to do with, again, how you show up as a we in relationship, right? 8th house is, it's many things, but it's your partner's money and your money, how well you guys blend it, communication, how well you blend it, intimacy, and how will you blend it right with a partnership. But it's also a money house, so it could have to do with money that you and a business partner make, or money coming to you from an investment, insurance payout, inheritance, anything like that. And because it's a Cancer energy, there's what makes me feel safe and secure in this area. So you're going to be more susceptible also, because there's a Cancer energy, to your emotions going up and down, and you feeling one way and then feeling another, and just being a little confused in that way. But having the focus be on that idea of security and safety. Now, on the 24th, across the wheel, you're going to have the full moon happening in the sign of Capricorn. Now, for you guys, it's happening across the wheel, right? So that's your 2nd house of money that you make from the work that you do, how you feel about yourself, and what matters to you. So the 8th house has to do with you with somebody else, and the 2nd house is you. Money you make, the money your partner makes, how well you guys blend it. How you communicate with yourself, how you feel about yourself, how your partner feels about themselves, and then how you bring that together, right? It's that kind of thing. All right. It also has to do, again, with this idea of blending of energies, cyclical kind of things. Again, that would also be, not to be repetitive, but inheritance, insurance payout, anything like that. So it does seem to me that you're going to be having a lot of energy there. Now, with the full moon energy, the full moon energy is reminding us that we can't ignore commitments to the outside world, right? So this is an energy where we need to take care of our responsibilities, attend to business, act maturely, take charge, right? This is all happening, again, in your 2nd house of what matters to you, money that you make, right? So you might feel a little scattered, right? And Neptune's station can blur some boundaries, but it's harmony with Jupiter. Even though Jupiter is going to be retrograde coming in, during this period, it still suggests like a good feeling. You're going to be feeling good, that you're doing the right thing, which is good. And remember now, attachments are ruled by Cancer, which is where that sun is going to be focused, right? While achievements and rewards and even punishments are ruled by Capricorn, which is where the full moon's going to be. So in some ways, this polarity deals with the balance between like unconditional love and conditional love, that kind of thing. It's also like our roots versus our direction, where it is that we're going. Right? It's that kind of thing. But I do feel for a lot of you that some things have been building up inside of you, especially having to do with things connected to your 2nd house of money. And now is the time when the energy fairly demands that you let out whatever it is that you've been feeling, right? Over the next 2 weeks, you're going to discover what that means for you, or bringing something to fruition, or going after something, or something happening in this energy, something happening, right? It's full moon. There's going to be an illumination. So this illumination, this can illuminate a conflict that you're likely feeling, again, between, like I mentioned a moment ago, between your roots and your direction, right? But these are going to be very emotional ones, because it's dealing with the moon, right? The moon is all about emotions, right? So you're going to feel the energy to express yourself, but you really want to exercise some care while doing this, because you have to know that whatever's coming out of you right now might be a little raw, might be a little, I'm calling it like a very unrefined energy, not particularly rational right yet, right? Because of some of the energies that we're dealing with. And also, what's this? felt cloths, pick up every little thing. And also we have a couple of retrograde energies that are hitting this week. We have Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces retrograde. Right now this is going to be happening in your 4th house of home. So this could have to do with buying a home, selling a home, moving in, moving out. It could also have to do with the idea of safety and security, right? Because the 4th house is that Cancer energy. So these are some things that you're going to be looking at but this is the thing. This is really, really important. I don't want you to get frustrated with the retrograde energy, okay? You might experience a slowing down maybe of plans to move, do work on your home, something like that. Somebody moving in, moving out, anything like that, or doing something that you feel will bring you security. But this is the thing. The retrograde is a blessing in disguise in order to gain perspective. Initially, you're probably going to feel like, why am I having such lousy luck, right? You might just feel like that during this period, right? And this is going to be from June until October. Now, Jupiter is going to be retrograde in Pisces only until July 28th. It's still going to be retrograde, but then it's going to be retrograde in Aquarius. So there is going to be more of a forward movement hitting towards the end of July. I want you to just know that this is not going to be that long lasting, but it's a good time for looking within, reassessing your recent goals. What is it that you really are wanting to do? Because Jupiter is trying to help you not wind up being the victim of something that isn't ultimately meant for you. So if that house falls through, if that person ends up not moving in, if it turns out you can't do the work to your house that you want, if you're in real estate and the sales are not going the way that you normally would like them to, or if you're just feeling generally not very secure in something, it's gonna pass. There's a reason for this sort of, I'm gonna say, feeling of being stuck, but at the same time with that Neptune being retrograde, it's going retrograde on the 25th. This is going to be happening until December. This can end up laying a confusing veil over everything that we just want to do practically, like a practical thing. Very temporary loss of like inspiration, because you're needing here, what happens here, remember Neptune is about dreams, so you're needing to realign your dreams and your wishes, right? Realign with what's going on inside of you. Right? And that's the thing here. You're going to be very receptive, even though you're going to be sort of indecisive about something. It's a really good energy to do inner work. So I don't want you guys to be negative at all about the retrograde. Just know that everything is sort of, it's a very protective energy of everybody. It really is. Even though it could be frustrating, you're going to be happy on the other side of it. So do all things in moderation is being clarified by imagine. So when we're getting imagine being clarified by this, it's let yourself dream, but make sure you're staying within the realm of reality. Stay within, what's doable, what are you really able to achieve and accomplish? A lot of you may be in the space of dreaming about that love, about that house, about having that baby, about having children, grandchildren, extended family, opening that business, right? This is all Empress energy. Empress is straight up Venus. So Venus rules money, it rules love, it rules feeling really good about what you're doing and where you're going. It's a beautiful energy, and it's about growing your life. All of that is so positive, and you want to do that. But you want to make sure that you're staying within the realm of reality, and that you're really kind of sticking with what it is that you want to do. Now, I for many of you, because we have this beautiful Empress energy that's being clarified by sexuality, this has a lot to do with, just wanting to meet that person, fall in love, have that visceral connection, be in something that you're allowing yourself to be open and seen and vulnerable in. You just want to make sure that, again, that you're staying within this realm of reality. Now, when we get the sexuality energy as well, sexuality always does also indicate, it also pushes us rather to look at the idea of vulnerability, look at the idea of communication, of commitment. Because what is sexuality? Sexuality is a way of, first of all, identifying ourselves within a connection within a relationship, not only with ourselves, but with another person. And it's also about being, recognizing where we allow ourselves to show up as the most vulnerable. It's allowing ourselves to go there. It's allowing ourselves to, even if something is a little scary, a little uncomfortable, a little something, it's allowing ourselves to go there. That's, and it really is about how we see ourselves within the realm of where we allow ourselves to be most vulnerable. It's not only the act of sex. These cards typically don't mean that anyway. But it's all of that. And it's allowing ourselves to take that chance. Right? But I do see for a lot of you, just like straight up, it's kind of almost like you're imagining this like perfect mate, this perfect situation. If only we could do this, things would be perfect, that kind of thing. Then we have live life to the fullest is being clarified by higher power, which is being clarified by the justice energy, which is being clarified by soulmate. Man, I wanted to pull those all at the same time because what a beautiful line this is. Living your life to the fullest, higher power means that you're getting help from the other side, Sag. So maybe somebody has passed recently that you love. Maybe they passed many, many years ago. It doesn't matter. Time is understood on the other side, right? But they have your back. Many of you are going to be able to feel them around you. For some of you, if there is nobody that's passed, it's almost like this angelic guidance that I feel like is pushing you to look at things that really matter in relationship right now, like balance and fairness being really important to look at. How do you feel about what you're in? And this is another iteration really of the sexuality energy. It's like, how do you feel? Are your emotional needs being met? Right? And looking at all of these things. But this is a win-win situation, right? Remember, the justice energy is about scales. It's about balance. It's a Libra energy. Libra is the landlord of the 7th house of contractual relationships. So that would be marriage. This could be business. This could even be a soul connection. We can have soul connections with family members, with our friends. It doesn't matter. But whatever that situation is, it's looking at how fair is something. Same thing with the soulmate. We could be soulmates with our best friends, with our sisters, our brothers, our cousins. It's not necessarily an intimacy. It's kind of gotten this sort of name over time to be that, but it's anyone that we have a shared soul connection with that we're meant to learn lessons with and go through things with, So it does seem like fairness, though, in that connection. So, I like this because I feel like if things have been maybe a little like off kilter for you and someone that matters a lot to you, somebody that you have this sort of connection with, I just feel like things will be getting better. We have raise your vibration by doing a whole lot of nothing right now. Isn't that funny? Right? But that's really what this is, It's really, this is what it is. And I do want to also say, speaking of relationship stuff here, Mercury's coming out of retrograde in your 7th house of marriage and contractual partnerships. So, I feel like that's going to be really good. Even that, it's coming out of retrograde on the 22nd. It's not going to be out of that post shadow until the 7th, but at least you're going to start to feel a lot more clear. You just really are. Just in relationships in general, Sagittarius, I feel like relationships are going to become more clear. And then also on the 24th, we have a really nice energy happening here. Saturn is forming a sextile to Chiron. Now remember, Chiron is an asteroid that's sort of situated between, not sort of, it is, situated between Saturn and Uranus. Saturn is about the past. It's about restriction. It's about delay. It's about no. And Uranus is like, I want to be free. I want to go into the future. I want to do this. And Chiron's right in the middle saying, all right, now let's heal this stuff. So for you, you have Saturn in your 3rd house of communication, of all modes of communication, of doing business as, where you live, your neighborhood, your siblings, anything like that, right? So that's the 3rd house, right? It's a Mercury house. And so we have that, Saturn's there, and Chiron is is healing in your 5th house of falling in love, love affairs, romance, your children, creativity, entrepreneurial efforts. So it's really nice here. And I just like that this is going to be softening some of the rough edges of the Saturn-Uranus square that I've been talking about. This is a time for you feeling confident, competent, effective in your language, secure in how you're presenting things. You're going to be in such a beautiful space to express your own unique qualities or go your own way without there being any drama. You're going to be acting professionally. You're going to be acting respectfully. And I have to tell you, Sag, those of you who are trying to sell some sort of creative endeavor, whoever's trying to launch any sort of whatever, fill in the blank, that's a creative endeavor of yours, beautiful energy. And it's what's on the other side, it's going to end up being a healing thing for you. So I wanted to say that. So we have raise your vibration by not doing much of anything right now, because we have the Ace of Swords. So right now, you may be feeling kind of stressed out about something. You may be experiencing some sort of mental blocks. You may be dealing with somebody or a situation that's not exercising very strong judgment. You might even be dealing with somebody or something that's not being completely honest with yourself, honest with you. But you may not be honest with yourself 100%, or you may not be totally honest with somebody else, because we have the take off your mask energy. So you want to make sure raising your vibration is about doing is about doing nothing more than taking off your mask, telling the truth, and being the most authentic version of yourself. And what I mean by that is speaking from the heart. Speaking from the heart. And that is not difficult for you guys, because you guys are all about truth. I always say that. You guys are that. But depending on what else is aspecting your energies, this doesn't mean that you're lying. But this could be that you're not looking at something in a very honest way. You may not be processing something in an honest way. You may not be presenting all of the information about how you feel about something that's very important for you to disclose. Something might be troubling and very heavy on your heart that you've been feeling like that's really weighing on you. It's time to release that. Just be a little careful, right? As I've been saying, just because we do have that full moon energy, so you just want to exercise some care while you're communicating, because again, what comes out might not be very strongly refined. But this is what I'm seeing going on for you. Being really honest with yourself, being really, really honest with everybody around you, right, is definitely the way to go for you guys. All right, so let's pull a Celtic cross spread and let's see what we got. I'm going to use the Tarot de Luna Wheat. I know a lot. Okay, I'm just throwing my boxes around. I know a lot of you guys ask me about my cards. This is the deck I'm using now. Queen of Wands, High Priestess. Yeah, so what I'm getting straight out of the gate is that you might be saying something. Okay, how do I say this? I don't feel like there's malice here, but I feel like you might be saying something to maybe keep the peace, having to do with something. There's pain here in the recent past. Three of Swords this is the card of pain, right? And this could have to do with any area of your life. This is Saturn in Libra, right? So Libra has to do with that, what I was mentioning right there about that, where Mercury is going, finally going direct, where you've had some sort of delay and holding back in that area. So there's been some sort of, if it wasn't heartbreak, just some sort of pain of a truth. You might be dealing with some sort of realization about somebody in your life, whether it's an intimate partner, a family member, somebody who you're friends with, something. And there's an element of betrayal. There's a flavor of betrayal about it. And you might be depressed about it. But the thing is, it's like, I feel like you're sort of in this space where you're transitioning into acceptance, right? You're realizing that the way something played out or the way a person is just simply the way it is or who they are. And any confusion about that person or that situation is going to be the reality is going to be very clear, and you're going to be able to move on to just sort of accept and heal and all of that, right? So that has to do with the energy that you're coming into. Now we have the Queen of Wands. It's being challenged by the High Priestess, which is your intuition. And the Queen of Wands is about stepping into your power. So you might be wanting to move forward in a particular way, but your intuition is like, hold on a second, are you sure about that? Are you sure? Because I'm definitely getting you feeling things intuitively in your own mind, that, and your emotions, right? The emotions, because High Priestess is a moon energy. It's a moon energy. That's holding you back, Sag. So I don't know if it's that you're questioning yourself, if you're doubting your own good luck, if you're wondering if you're worthy, if you're wondering if it's possible. Something good actually might be happening right now, and you might not trust it. As we have stepping into your powers, being challenged by your emotions. And this is the thing, our emotions can be very cruel to us sometimes, right? Because our emotions are not always based in fact. A lot of times our emotions and our feelings are grounded in insecurities and in past experiences and in feeling less than, even though that's not maybe how we're being perceived out in the 3D. So it seems like there is sort of this energy of trepidation. I just want to say that. Now, the crowning energy, Sagittarius, look at this. We have the Emperor. This is Aries, ruled by Mars, which is always about a fresh approach, a new path, trying something different. You being the leader in your life, really nice energy. Some of you might be meeting a new person to be in a relationship with. So those of you who are in a relationship, you might be doing a lot of beautiful problem solving, planning future, things that you want to do together, just addressing practical matters being addressed, right, in a current relationship. But it is about taking control and order and ambition and leadership and being super determined. But everything is being done with a new perspective. A new perspective. So I love this. So there's some sort of situation that's been going on. You know, and I just feel like, though, make sure as you're doing this, boundaries are being set. Just make sure boundaries and protecting your vision and what's yours and how you want something to be, particularly in work. I'm getting this. All right, so if you're putting any kind of project out there, which, like I mentioned, with that Saturn sextile and Chiron, you might be, just make sure that your vision is respected. You know what I mean? If it has to do with work. Some of you may be sort of teetering with the idea of opening up your own business, going off on your own thing, doing something off on your own, after realizing that something wasn't going to work out a different way. But we have good news coming in, my friends. Very nice, 8 of Wands. Mercury and Sag, Mercury and you. Good news coming in, lots of busy communication. This is really good if you've been feeling like with cement shoes on, right? Held back, stuck, waiting for a decision. Good news coming in for growth. Anything that's going to grow you. So getting the thumbs up for that project, that launch, having to do with that job, whatever it is. This is also having to do with relationships. This is great news about love, especially if you've been separated. This is really nice. So we have the Knight of Swords energy, and this is in your position. So representing you, expect the unexpected, Sagittarius. Expect the unexpected. Now, understand, that's you. If you're dealing with an influence, a general influence of the Knight of Swords energy, there could be some sort of unpredictable stuff that's going on, but it's like a roller coaster. It's high, it's low, it's things popping out of nowhere, and it's like, you know, you're not really sure. Things coming to light that you didn't realize. It can be confusing. It can be relief for some of you. For some of you, it can be confusing, depending on what your situation is. But things are going to feel a little like unsettled. Let's just say that. So just wait for things to settle before you make a move and do anything. We have the Nine of Swords as the energy that's surrounding you. And the Nine of Swords is about anxiety and being very worried. You may not be responding very well to the external stress because your way of dealing with something in a way that you think is the right way may not be totally clear to you. You may like be in this space where it's like I'm really not sure how to handle this. And to have the Sun in your block position, right? This is your challenge right now. So have the Sun in the challenge. I mean, this can be this kind of thing where you feel this delay. You might even be feeling a little depressed. You're in the space of waiting, and that's difficult for you. You're having a hard time waiting on something. Waiting for that project, waiting for that house situation. And it's because we have all that fourth house energy that I was talking about with the retrogrades. So it's just like this feeling like something is right there, right? Especially because the sun rules Leo. It has to do with creativity, falling in love, connecting with somebody that you love, connecting with a creative project, something to do with your children. It could be anything having to do with that. But these are all blocks in being able to move forward and make something happen. This is very much in your psychology, though. So I feel like there's a lot of worry, there's a lot of anxiety, but you know, is it all based on stuff that's happening in reality? Or is it stuff like, is it your perception of things? Just wait for things to roll out, right? Because I feel like then we're going to have some good communication. So we have the Magician energy. Magician is straight up Mercury. Mercury rules Gemini as well as Virgo. So if this has to do with a relationship, communication going really well, and any issues or problems are going to be resolved through a deeper understanding of each other's needs. This can also indicate making some kind of joint venture happen, right? So maybe launching that thing, you know, having that creative project accepted, whatever it is, it's really, really nice. This could also indicate just a new beginning or direction in career, anything like that. This could also indicate the sale of a home or the buying of a home or the decision to move for improved life. So all these things that I've been mentioning up to this point in the reading, where I feel like you're going to be held back in the near future, we have the Magician, which is about alchemy, making it happen. Let's move it forward. But you're going to have some choices, and then you're going to have to deal with that end of it. As this is choices and confusion, Seven of Cups, right? Commitment issues. You might be having issues with commitment, meaning maybe somebody wants to take on a project that you're trying to put out there, and you're having a hard time getting them to do that final commitment. Or you have a lot of offers coming in at once and you're not sure what you should or could commit to. This might have to do with relationship, right? Where you have all of this fabulous communication, but at the end of the day, either you or the other person, you feel like, I don't know, is everybody committed in the right way? Because everything feels up in the air and you're not sure what to trust. So the thing is, like, just wait. Just like hang and wait, right? But remember, we got chopped wood in the first one. Don't do anything. Just wait. Make sure you're exercising integrity. You're exercising honesty. Pay attention to your instincts. Pay attention to your emotions. But remember, your emotions can be tricky, right? So we have the Chariot, which is nice, moving away from toxicity, trying to figure out a different strategy in this situation. The Three of Wands is very nice energy. This is about making plans, moving forward, partnership. This could be business partnership, very good. This could be intimate partnership. Some of you might be meeting a new romantic partner, maybe through work or friends, but there's two aspects of a situation, and you have to figure out what is going to be best for you. But overall, the Three of Wands does indicate as a central card here. It does indicate great opportunities coming on their way, but it's going to create some confusion with the Hangman. So if this has something to do with work or a project, if things seem unclear, hold back on signing any contracts or dealing with any legal matters just yet, because there might be things going on that you're not yet aware of, but you intuitively vibe, which is basically, I feel like everybody's going to be going through this, you know. But ultimately, you're protected, which is really nice in this energy. But so just, you know, hang out for that. There might even be, this could also be a delay with your home, a remodeling, a sale, something like that. You're going to find some sort of creative solution to the issue at hand. At least try to do that. Listen to your intuition. See what your belly is telling you to implement. And if this has to do with a relationship, you're in this space where you're like, I don't know, do they feel the same way as me? And you might even feel like you're in the space of waiting. Somebody else might feel like they're in a space of waiting for you, where it's like, all right, do they feel the same way as me? Am I waiting and wasting my time? Is this worth it? You know what I mean? Like that, is this going to be something that I'm going to have to martyr myself in and compromise what I really want? It's that kind of, but you're confused. It's confused because it's Neptune. But it's you wanting to grow. Right? It's you very much wanting to grow, and it's you very much wanting to go after your dream. That's why the numerology link for this is the Empress, which is Venus. And it's about growth, and you're thinking about, how can I best grow my life? What's real, what's not? Trying to get to the bottom of it. What's the right thing to do? You just might be a little confused about that in the moment, right? And we have the Page of Swords working here, so there could be some bad news coming in. that you view as bad news anyway, but remember, it might not be totally bad news. Remember, Jupiter retrograde in that 4th house energy, right? So just remember that. So we have that. This could also be some sort of legal or tax issue coming in. This could also have to do with somebody being very immature when it comes to how something's rolling out, depending on the situation you're in. Okay. So we have the strength energy, which is about the need to balance something. If you're in something that you feel like you're being tested, things are going to improve, but there's a need for balance. There's a need for balance here, for sure. But there's got to be an end to something, right? There's got to be an end to, or final release of something that's just been very, very challenging up to this point, so that things could just go in a healthier direction. Because the 10 of Swords is like one sword at a time over time. It's too much. You can't do it anymore. And it's time to just sort of like leave that behind. It's done. As an ending of something. And there's a history here. But it's the finality and the release of something that releases you from some sort of stress that you've been feeling, or some sort of frustration, even if it's painful. At least you know where you stand. At least you know where you're going. And you may be in this space of really focusing more on making smarter choices for yourself, because the four of Pentacles is really about protecting yourself. It has to do with security. It has to do with you making very smart choices in business. It has to do with you also just making choices that you feel like are going to ultimately end up protecting you moving forward. So you might be protecting your heart. You might be protecting your finances, maybe a little bit of both. Yeah, King of Swords. Focusing on the mind rather than your heart right now in order to take charge of your circumstances. And then when you do that, some sort of new offer or good news is coming in, which is really nice. So this is good. So I feel like initially something may not work out that you thought was going to work out, but then something even better comes along later on. So here I feel like this Page of Cups is where the protection is. But you're going to be very intelligent. You're going to be, using the right set of eyes to evaluate a situation. I like it, but something is not going to work out so that something else can work out. And that is where you're meant to be. So let's see what happens for our Sagittarius friends. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys have an amazing week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.